Morning, how you guys doing today? So it's actually raining in the Bay Area, so it's going to be kind of too difficult to record, hold an umbrella, walk a dog, all of that stuff. So I'm just going to record this video on my porch. Actually already walked the dog, so I have time to record these now. So in today's video, I want to talk about raising private money, and more importantly, I want to talk about raising big money in private money, right? Over $1 million. This is something I've done twice now. I've created two different programs in my 15 years or so. One was back in kind of 2010 through 12. And then one is recently in 2018. And I want to talk about the three traits or the three keys to doing that, at least in my opinion. Please note that I've also included a bonus at the end of this video because there was something I did 10 or 12 years ago that I think all of us can do that I actually consider private money as well. So, we'll get into it. We'll go through my three keys and then I'll include that bonus. Also, do me a favor and leave a comment if these keys or the bonus, you've done something else. I'd love to learn from you and see what others are doing. So with that, we'll get started. So the first key to raising $1 million or more in private money is to understand that money is repelled by desperation, right? If you're going into a situation and you're nervous or you're anxious or you've got that kind of, just desperation, I don't know a better word to put on it. People with money are going to sense that immediately. Their checkbooks are going to get locked up. Their IRAs are going to get locked up, and you have no access to no possibility to get that money. So, just understand that that's a reality, and you should never really, frankly, invest in anything when desperation is the motivation. So, just understand that, appreciate that, what's going on in your network. It doesn't matter if it's your aunt, uncle, sister, brother, mother, father, whatever. If you sense desperation in you, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to get that investment. So that's step one. Step two, you need to understand that, in my experience, money, private money specifically, is attracted to a good track record. So what do I mean by that, right? It's obviously helpful if you've done some deals, but I'm not an idiot. And I know a lot of people watching this channel haven't done a deal yet. So when I say a track record, I don't mean closed transactions. It's obviously helpful. It obviously accelerates things, but that's not what I'm talking about here. A track record could mean that you could go into that meeting, talk about a zip code, talk about a property type, talk about an area, and share lots of information, right? You can share why a deal is a deal, why it's not a deal, where you think you can buy it, why you think there's a profit. You've got your budget numbers, you got all of these things. You're going to have to do some homework, people. If you want private money, if you want outside investors to help you get this real estate investing thing going, go do the freaking work, right? Go build a spreadsheet of 50 houses. Go look at, 10 open houses. Go look at, ugly properties. Go look at figure out rents. You have to put the puzzle together and make it easy for private investors to know you know what you're talking about. When you have a track record and you can articulate why a deal is better than another deal, your chances of getting private money go through the roof. Don't forget that the first step to getting private money is to get a yes answer to the first meeting. I would like to talk to you about investing $50,000 in this or that. I've looked around at 100 properties. I'd love to come tell you why this is the one that you should partner on. That's a track record, right? When I say track record, again, it's not you've done 5 deals and you've got 5 closing statements to prove it. It's you've done the hours of investing. If you haven't done the hours of investing to build your track record or your knowledge base, shame on you. What gives you the right to go ask for somebody's hard-earned money when you haven't done the freaking work, people? Go do the work. Build the list. Build the knowledge, right? Just make yourself better, and money will be attracted to you, I promise, right? So the third and final thing that's important to me is when I put together a program, I always put the investor in the best possible state I can. So what that means for me is I make sure any money at risk, right? The first money at risk is mine. And that's important to me. It's obviously not important to everyone. I've known people to go out and borrow 100% of purchase and 100% of repair. That's not what I do. And I think you've heard me talk about it before, but every program I've done, both the one back in 2010 through 12 and the one now, I only ask my investors to come in for the purchase price. That's important to me. What that means is the make-ready costs, the holding costs, the transaction costs, all of that's on me, right? And that's important to me. Now, I realize that may not be for everyone as you're starting out. So just do what you can to put the private investor in the best possible stance. That helps you not only on this transaction, but that act is going to be appreciated and will likely lead to additional private investors. So that's what's very important to me. In today's market, I would do things short term, right? I wouldn't do 10-year or 5-year notes. Back in 08 and 10, we did 10-year notes because that was just a different environment. In 2018, in a seller's market, in a market that may be changing, I would do short term, right? Less than a year for sure. I don't think I would go less than 6 months, but less than a year for sure. So in the end, the keys to attracting $1 million in private money, the 3 keys before we get into the bonus are: don't be desperate. Desperation repels money. Build a track record. Go do the homework. Go understand what's going on in your area, so it's easy for someone to say yes. And then third, go put your investor in the best possible position you can. I think that's important. So the bonus. As I indicated in the beginning, something I did unknowingly is I think it was my first or second apartment deal. I actually got it owner financed, right? A seller owned the building free and clear. They've depreciated to zero. They wanted to hold it until, frankly, they passed on. So we worked out a transaction where I brought very little capital to the closing table, just enough to cover transaction costs. So it was thousands of dollars, and I was able to take over a 10-unit apartment building, and I just agreed to make payments. Now, some of you may josh and say that's not private money. Certainly called owner financing. I would tell you it's a gentleman that agreed to loan me almost $500,000 at a defined interest rate with a defined down payment. So it was a private loan for me. So if I was just starting out, I would spend at least part of my time looking for owner finance deals, because one of the things that people, when they don't have money, is they just don't have the down payment. You can work out owner finance deals with zero down. I've done it, right? So you can go find those deals. So I would make sure I spent some time looking for owner finance deals as I was starting out, which of course would go to building your track record and all those other goodness. So in the end, I think there's only 3 keys to building a private money portfolio of over $1 million. And I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments, share this video, and help me grow this channel by letting me know what I could do better. Have a great day.